Hello, Angie Gerber here, and welcome to my podcast, Awareness. Once you know, you can't unknow. A place you can come to start thinking and shifting your thoughts to finally create the results you truly, truly desire. It'll shift your mindset and give you strategies to get out there and get it done. Let's get started. On today's episode, we are going to continue with the higher faculties. Today, we're focusing on memory. You know, everyone can have a perfect memory, most of us. Most of us can take advantage of it, of our brain plasticity to improve our capacity to memorize and store information and remember it when we need it. It's a muscle. It's a muscle that if you choose to flex, you can strengthen. So many of us don't understand it and don't flex it. And we just, again, get up and go through the day and use our memories to dictate how we're feeling and where we're going. You know, it's whether you improve your memory or you choose to just let it lay dormant. I know I used to say all the time, I have such a bad memory. I have such a bad memory. Well, again, if I continue to say that, then I'll become that or it will happen. But then there's times where I'll say something and the person will look at me and they'll be like, how do you remember that? And I'm like, I have no idea. So the point is that it's in there. The memories are in there. We just don't use our memory and flex that muscle in a way to use it to our full advantage. Many of us, unfortunately, use our memory to our disadvantage. And we take those strong memories, most of the time of maybe trauma or drama or pain or suffering or an instance that happened or failures that really just, it's a bad energy and it's a bad vibration. And it was where we once were. And we just continue to go back in our memory and relive it over and over and over again. And that can really hold you back if you're doing that. And that's where I know there's a video where Bob Newhart, he's playing a therapist, psychologist, and this woman comes into his office. And I know I've talked about this video before, but it's so great. And she's just like, okay, so, you know, when I eat, I then do this or I throw up. He's like, stop it. And she's like, stop it? He's like, just stop it. And she's like, well, but then when I think about going, you know, back over here, then this thing comes up. And he's like, stop it. And she's like, well, I'm afraid of going in elevators because I feel like I'm being buried alive in a box. He's like, are you in a box, a coffin? She's like, no, I'm in an elevator. Then stop it. You know, and it's so much easier said than done. But my point is get a rubber band on your wrist or snap your fingers or do something when you continue to go in the past and feel that low vibration, that low energy from a memory. Stop it. Cancel. Say not today, you know, and mentally, if you have to say it out loud, be like, no, not going to accept that today. I'm going here and do the polar opposite. That's one of the laws of the universe. Now take that instant and reverse it. Find the good. Do the polar opposite. What would you want? If not that, then this. You see, a lot of depression can come from living in our past. And a lot of anxiety is created from the future, you know, trying to predict and look towards the future and be anxious about what may happen. So really don't look in the past. Don't look in the future. As Bob Proctor says, take the hourglass. The sand at the top of the hourglass is the future. The sand at the bottom of the hourglass is the past that's fallen. Look in that little middle part where the sand is moving. That's today. What can you do today? How can you show up today? Because if you keep going in the past, you're going to keep recreating that feeling. And again, that feeling's going to put you into a vibration. And that vibration dictates what you put out, what action you take or don't take, and what results you get. So that's where 90% of the people are. They're stuck in that low vibration because they don't understand this. So it's by disconnecting from that and focusing with your imagination on what you do want, connecting to that frequency through raising your vibration, feeling it as if it's already here and done, because your subconscious does not know the difference. Does not know the difference. It accepts everything. So when you're going back and you're living that memory and you're feeling it as if it's happening here and now today, and it's something that was not good, that puts you in a low vibration, it's happening again in your subconscious over and over and over again. And you're going to feel the same way. You're going to take the same action or inaction, and you're going to get the same results because you're vibrating at that level. So you have to disconnect from that. And that's by using your imagination and your will, where you can hold what you do want on the screen of your mind. And these memories, they can also serve you in a positive way, because you can have strong memories from the past, and they can increase your ability to experience a positive experience today. Help you to advance in life. Most people only have to touch the hot stove once, and they remember, I'm not going to do that again. So you can use your memory for you in some instances where it's going to protect you, or you take the feedback from something and you use it in a positive way to help you get further or to do better or to stay away from the hot stove if that's something that happened. So many people use their memory against themselves. So know the difference and recognize it. Again, this is all about creating awareness. Thinking in results will create awareness around what this looks like, what you're subconsciously doing, and the paradigms and the habitual behaviors that you don't even realize you're doing. Trust me, I lived here for about 40 years until I found this information. You can make a difference and a change in your results starting today. Start where you're at. It should not be where you want to be. You should always want more and always be for expansion, but you can start today where you're at and disconnect from the trauma, the thing that happened that was bad, the drama, all of that, by just letting it go and focusing on what you do want and not focusing on what you don't want. I know Jack Canfield is another one that I follow, and he said it clearly. I think if you've watched The Secret, go back and watch his part of it. He talks about this. He talks about, I was growing up in an abusive family, alcoholic father. I became alcoholic myself. I've had divorces. And at some point, he's like, I had to stop it. Let it go. It's not going to serve you. You cannot change it. And that's where you're like, how do they do it? They've lost a loved one or something horrific has happened to him. I'm talking about Mistaken Identity by Doug Dane. I mean, look at his story. Wow. And where he's at today. It's because we all have an active choice. We are a participant in how we choose to show up. So you can let your past dictate your future, keep you down, keep looking at it and dwelling on it and feeling the ick of it. Or you can be like, you know what? It's in the past. We know we can't change the past. It's done. It's stamped. It's there. The only thing we can change is how we choose to move forward and find the good, because there's good in every situation, and focus on that. That was my first lesson that got me out of my darkness, was gratitude. Everything starts with gratitude. I have it tattooed on my arm. I'm so serious about this. Everything starts with gratitude. If you cannot be grateful for where you are and what you have and find the good in situations that were horrible, you will be stuck. You will collapse your energy and you are not going to welcome anything good in. You have to start by looking at the good, what you are grateful for. Open that energy. And I promise you, in doing that, if you haven't done it before, so much will shift right away. My life shifted completely and continues to, because I practice gratitude every day. I am a student as well as a teacher and coach every day. And it is just so beautiful. And that's why understanding this information, your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, your vibration, and where you're at with energy, it will give you what you want, and so very quickly answer you and give you what you don't want, because that's what you're focusing on. I've talked about it before. Olympian athletes, you hook themselves up to the muscle electrodes and they can close their eyes and run their event, and their muscles will fire the same as they fire when they're running their event. People do not understand how really powerful our minds are. And our memories are so attached and ingrained in their, like a deep part of our DNA. And it's what you do with the memories. It's what you use your memory for you, not against you. And so many of us are just taking these memories and these mistakes, and where we did something we shouldn't have done or wish we wouldn't have done or regretted doing, and letting it just consume us and reliving it and reliving the pain and reliving the guilt and the worry and the doubt and how it just made it hurt, and reliving the hurt and the pain. And that's just putting you in that vibration where you're going to get more. So find what will work for you to snap out of it. Have awareness around it, whether it's the rubber band, where it's snapping your fingers, whether it's saying out loud, no, stop. I choose different. I'm going here. Polarity, power of polarity. Find the good. And use tools, tips, tricks, whatever it is that you need to do. Reach out to me if you have questions, or if you want to, dive in a little bit more, because our memory is such a powerful higher faculty. They all are. And this one, if you can control it and if you can strengthen it and use it to your advantage to help you versus to your disadvantage by living from memories that they're done. There's nothing you can do to change it. The only thing you can control, your thoughts and your attitude. And your attitude are a compilation of your thoughts, your feelings, and your action. So know and show up and control what you can control, and start living from the end result. Where do you want to be? Not once where you were, that hurts and doesn't feel good. Where do you want to be? And hook up and go back and listen to imagination again. Listen to will again. Listen to these over and over and over again, because it's the repetition of listening to this. Because the first time you listen to anything, or the first time you read anything, you are only picking up 20 to 40%. 40% if you're really dialed in. 20%, most people, because they're multitasking, or they're looking at their phone, or they're thinking about this. I mean, I don't know how many times I've been reading a book and I have to stop and go back a paragraph because my mind was elsewhere. That happens a lot. So go back, and if you find a book you really like, or if you find a podcast you really like, or a YouTube video, or a coach that you really resonate with, watch over and over and over again, because you will never hear it the same, and you will never see it the same, because you are always different. Tip your toe in the water in a stream, you'll never put it in the same water. And that's how we are. We are fluid. We are all energy. We are all changing at all times. So repetition if you want to strengthen your higher faculties and let go of your senses, repetition, repetition, repetition. So until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day. And of course, share, comment, follow, subscribe. I'd love to answer any questions and get into really great conversation. Have a good one. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And if you like what you heard, feel free to share, like, subscribe, follow, do whatever it is you do. I'd love to get this out to as many people as possible because it truly all does start with awareness. Once you know, you cannot unknow, and it changes everything. And of course, if I can help in any way, I'm here and happy to do so. Until next time, make it a good one.